da-da-dun, da-dun, da! I bet you guys are so excited to finish the conclusion of this All About Bears book. As excited as I am to finish my beautiful book, I bet you guys are excited to finish your beautiful book. So let's give each other a virtual high five, put on our writing hats, and get to work. There are two things we need to do before we start. So I'm going to take a look back at my book and make sure that everything is exactly as I want it for the conclusion, right? So I've got my introduction, looks good. I've got my diet, it's got a number 2 on it, so I know it's the second page, looks good. I've got my habitat, it's got a number 3 on it, I know it's the 3rd page, all good. I've got my family page, I added a picture. I actually went back into the book that I used last time on Get Epic and found the picture of the mama cub and the baby cub. The mama bear and the baby cub, and I used that to help me draw this picture of them in a forest. I even labeled the sun coming out because I didn't want people to be confused about what the yellow was in my picture. But I forgot to put a number on this page, so I'm going to write the number 4 at the bottom. And now I am ready to do my last thing before I dive into writing my interesting fact page and finishing with a conclusion sentence. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole writing process, so I always save the animal diagram for last. If you would like to watch this video and do it any other time in your writing, that's totally fine. It's going to go in my organizer right here so that then I can make it into a page for my book. So I have to do a little bit more research before I can draw this animal diagram and finish this book up. In order to do our animal diagram, we have to research and specifically research a diagram of a brown bear. So I'm going to type that into the search bar, diagram of brown bear, and I'm going to pull it up. You could also probably find this in a book on Get Epic. If you're looking through a book and you're researching your animal and you see a diagram, that's a great time to go ahead and use that to help you draw this diagram. I am going to click on this one because it looks pretty good. I've seen this shoulder hump on a lot of my research and my pictures that I've been looking at, and I've been a little bit confused about it. So very interesting that it's a part of the bear. It says it's got a dish-shaped profile, a ruff of long fur, claws longer and less curved, and rump lower than the shoulder. So that means its booty is like below its shoulders. So I'm going to use this to help me draw a diagram. I'm going to do it on my organizer in pencil. And then when I get to my book and I'm going to do it on a blank page, I'm going to do that one detailed in crayon. Here is my pencil diagram of the brown bear that I put on the middle of my organizer. I just loosely drew the bear. I didn't even add many details. Is this a wow picture? No, you're right. It's not a wow picture, but it's going on my note catcher, and so I don't need it to be a wow picture. It's not going in my actual book. I labeled the brown bear. I labeled some of the parts that I was interested in when I just looked it up that I found. So I labeled the hump. I labeled the ruff of fur under its neck. I labeled the ears, the legs, some parts that I already knew what were so that my diagram can be as detailed as possible for my book. On my organizer for my interesting fact, I wrote, they travel a lot, and then I had a comma to break up that thought, hibernate in winter. So I think that I've got exactly enough information to go ahead and start writing my interesting fact page. Just like with my other pages, I have interesting fact at the top, okay? I'm going to start off by writing brown space bears, brown bears, hibernate in the, two sight words so I know how to spell them, W, I, N, T, Brown bears hibernate in the winter. I'm going to make sure I don't forget my periods this time. And then I'm going to write they, which is also a sight word, but if I don't know how to spell that one, I can ask a friend. They, I don't think that I have room here to leave a space and write the word travel. So I'm going to go ahead down and start on the next line. T, a, v, o. They travel. O, ng. Almost forgot to leave my space. They travel long. D, is, t, e, n, s, s, e, s. They travel long distances for, then I'm going to leave a space and write d, period. One more time, I'm going to use my pencil as a magic wand, and I'm going to make sure that this says what I would like for it to say. Brown bears hibernate in the winter. They travel long distances for food. Awesome. The one last thing that I need to include in my book is a conclusion sentence. So I want to make sure that I'm wrapping up that last thought about brown bears. So I'm going to say, I hope, and to make this letter say O, I need to add my magic E on the end so that he jumps over, sprinkles some sparks of magic onto that O to make it say O. O, and so he doesn't hurt Peter Puppy's ears. I hope, I'm going to flip it over and use the back because I've only got a few more words to write, so I'm not worried about taking up a whole nother page. You, sight word, I, liked. I'm going to use my sight word like and add a D because it already happened. I hope you liked my, another sight word, b, k, out, bears, period. So now that's the conclusion sentence and my book is finished. Oh, except for my picture on my interesting fact page, all of the writing in my book is completely finished. So I've got my interesting fact, and then at the end I said, I hope you liked my book about bears. That sentence tells the reader, my book is over. I hope that you liked it. Just like all good writers in Writer's Workshop, I am beyond proud of my All About Bears book. So proud that I made it a title page, All About Brown Bears by Miss Lockbaum. My book is looking good. When you flip in, you see the introduction, you see an eye-grabbing wow picture. Then when I flip to the next page, I've got my diet page showing you what brown bears eat. Flipping to the next page, I've got my habitat page showing you where they live. I've got family telling you how they live. And then, finally, I've got my interesting fact page. And my interesting fact and my conclusion sentence were so long that they went onto the back. And I took my diagram and I drew a detailed diagram of the brown bear. And now my All About book is complete and ready to be published and shared with my family and maybe over Zoom or FaceTime with my grandparents. It is an awesome work of writing and I am a super writer. Excellent job, all of you guys out there. If you finished your book, let's hear a whoop whoop for all of the awesome writers out there.